Hey everybody, Nerdy Transformed here again, and today I have the Transformers Generations Deluxe class, Scoop. Yeah, Scoop. I mean, of all the... I get that Throwing 30 were all about any characters that were like kind of like have popularity among fans, even if they weren't really relevant anymore. Like, you know, Jetfire or Skyfire, or the Armada Starscream, or Nightbeat, or Roadbuster, we got a new Bumblebee, a smaller one that's actually in scale. I mean, I get that part, but were people really, was that big enough fan base who were asking for Scoop? Because I've never even heard of the guy until this toy came out. I mean, honestly, I first saw him, I thought he was maybe like Cybertron Landmine or something. But nope, it's Scoop. So yeah, this is Scoop. From the front and from the top, his vehicle mode looks pretty good. You know, typical construction vehicle. It's kind of the appropriate colors for a construction vehicle. Then you look at it from the side, and yeah, it's basically kind of just all the robot parts pushed together. I mean, it doesn't look like robot parts, but it doesn't look cohesive either on the side. Like I said, front and top looks fine. Another spot that kind of sucks is here under the Scoop. It's just kind of empty. I do like the circuitry details you get down there, but kind of looks like he has his core or his spark there or something. Maybe not the best spot to put Scoop. And of course, he is driving himself. Gee, we've seen this so many times. I don't get this personally. It doesn't bug me like for certain other people, but it is strange that when it's like literally in the spot where he would be driving himself, and they don't really try to hide it at all. Like with this guy, their heads are just there. I mean, couldn't we at least have like colored it darker or something? Oh well. Another thing is this is clear plastic that's been painted orange here, and it matches fairly well with the plastic. It's maybe like a slightly darker shade, but not noticeably so. And considering it's only on like that one part and like this little hinge right here, there's not enough space for me to really worry about. And from the bottom, you can see this transformation was a bit more complicated than I expected. I thought it was just a simple, here's the chest, here's the legs folded up, here's the arms attached to the side. But no, the whole chest is actually kind of facing forward with the head. Meaning they had to move the chest plate around, the arms are moved into an odd little position up here. The only thing that's pretty much like a normal transformation element is like the legs are just basically folded up with the feet pushed in. If you're wondering, yes, the Scoop does work pretty well. It's on the hinge here. It does have a hinge in the middle, but it's for transformation really, and it does have a hinge at the Scoop itself. So of course you can actually get some dirt scooping action if you want, you know. Whenever you do scooping. You could also kind of like move it like this, to where you have like the basic kind of bulldozer look. But it also means all this you can see a lot easier, so I prefer just kind of displaying it like this. And he rolls pretty well. Although these wheels back here are not pinned in. The front ones are, the back ones are not. These can be pulled off really easily and probably lost. No idea why they went with that. But he does have a lot of good detailing. Like the ladder here, which means he's a humongous bulldozer. It does remind me of Cybertron Landmine because he has had like a tiny little ladder sculpt on the side. So this is a large scoop machine. You do have the like grading back here, and they actually put gray paint on it to make it look like grading, which is really nice. You do got kind of like the connections and the... Not sure what you would call this stuff, but it's painted and it looks like good detail. Got a little circuitry kind of stuff there, all that stuff there. It all looked really good. Even inside the Scoop itself, you have like some detail of just like... I'm not sure what you call it, just lines? I don't know what you call it, but it's really cool detail to see. Especially on here, on this black part here. He does come with two partners. Yeah, that's right. Armada Starscream can't get his Minicon, but Scoop gets both of his Target Masters. I think they were Target Masters. I don't remember their names. I don't care about their names. This is what they look like. Interestingly enough, they have the same color scheme as Scoop, but kind of like reverse versions of it, because all three of them share the color scheme of orange, yellow, and blue. But Scoop has a main body of orange with a little bit of yellow, with blue and touches of yellow. We have this one who is mostly yellow with orange and then touches of blue, and then this one who's mostly blue with yellow and touches of orange. And yeah, they had these handles in between their legs. You can remove the handles, but it's a pain to get them on and off, so I just leave them on. And yeah, they turn into his guns. We'll get to their transformation when we get to robot mode. But if you were to transfer them into their guns, you could peg them here on the top or here on the sides. Or down here as well. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they have 6 pegging points if you wish. Well, here, I'll just go ahead and show you transformation. You flip this down. They're back kibble basically. You flip their arms back and peg them together. And flip this down for the handle. And you can peg them in here, but they get in the way of the wheels. You can peg them in here, but they're not going to really be able to shoot straight. And actually, they interfered at least here because of how wide the feet are. They both can't peg in here easily. Same as this one. Flip the kibble down, flip the handle down, peg the arms together. This one, for some reason, the ball joint's really big compared to the socket, so the arm pops out really easily. I don't know if anybody has that problem with their blue one, but for some reason this one has a huge problem. Also, it has a huge problem pegging in. Probably because of that ball joint thing. So, there you go. You can peg them in there. Looks okay. Don't really peg them in for vehicle mode. Let's just set them to the side. Here, let's go ahead and... I think the yellow one pulls off the whole gun mode better. It just looks a bit more solid. Oh, the blue one does look a bit more like a robot, so pick whichever you prefer. If you're curious about oh, okay, blue one is having trouble standing. Stand, blue. There. If you're curious about their scale, here they are next to Reflector. So they're slightly taller than the other, like, microbots. And if you're curious about Scoop's scale, well, here he is next to Bumblebee. Little Bumblebee. Let's get out of that Bumblebee. Alright, Scoop's transformation. Like I said, legs are pretty simple. Just unpeg them from the back. You can see they kind of flip outward and cover over there. There's the yellow now. Fold these parts down to make feet. And this one could be a real... This one's like stuck or something. Hold on a minute. Ah, there we go. That one gets stuck in there, but it also clicks in better. There, like, see, this one's not gonna fold in as easily as this one, which is weird. Unpeg these from the sides, and unpeg it from the chest up here, so you can kind of pull the arms out a bit. Then you're gonna flip this piece down here that's connecting these wheels parts to the main chest, and flip it until you get this flat piece at the front. See, you're gonna have like the ladder kind of going up diagonally. You basically want flat against the middle chest part where the circuitry and the spark cloak is. And you're gonna flip the chest up, bring down the crotch and leg area, set the arms down their struts, get the hands out, which can also be a little difficult. Come on, there we go. He also seems to have the same hands as the Fall of Cybertron, Onslaught, and Swindle and all of them. It's kind of weird. Then you're going to take this whole back kibble. This flips up. You just kind of pull it up. It's not pegged in anywhere. And it reveals Scoop's face. Then you're going to take it, kind of collapse in like this. Then this black part folds in half. And the Scoop sits against his back like that. Pretty good way of getting the Scoop out of the way without, you know, having it just sticking off his back like the G1 Constructicon had. And there is Scoop. Alright, for comparison, here he is next to the Combiner Wars Optimus. So you can get a good idea of how big he is, the typical deluxe scale. And here they are next to Bumblebee. Bumblebee. There, you see how big he is. Get him out of the way. Get the leader out of the way. Or, well, Voyager, but he is the leader of the Autobots. And here is Scoop. He's got some pretty nice detail. He's got this blue detail on the chest with the Autobot symbol decoed right there. It looks a little messed up. Not sure if that's just mine. He's got some gray here. That goes with the knee pads and all that. He's got the same kind of blue line texture that his chest has on his feet, just to kind of help break that up. And of course, he now has his yellow elbow joints, yellow hands, and yellow crotch and upper legs. And let's get a look at that head sculpt. It is using light piping rather than painted eyes. So here, let me get this Scoop out of the way so you can get a good look at that. And it works pretty well. It looks pretty good. And it's not a bad head sculpt. My only real problem with this figure is He's kind of just a generic robot. Maybe it's just because I don't know the Scoop character that well, but he really is kind of just generic. It's a robot, and there he is. He's a robot with wheels and a scoop on his back. I don't know, something about him feels like kind of like the Viacons, where they kind of just had a generic look to, or even the Vicons looked more like sleek and like quick look to him. Scoop's kind of just, he's a robot, and he has vehicle parts hanging off of him. Brr. Even his face kind of just looks like maybe like Cup's face. His face kind of has that like semi-serious look to it. I don't know what to think of his face. It's more like a poker face. Like he's really serious about his poker game. Well, you can take the guns and combine them together. There are a couple of different ways you can actually combine these guns. If we can get them in the gun mode. Originally I thought you were supposed to peg them together because you can see there's that peg hole down there. But I'm not so sure anymore. Maybe you can. But it doesn't seem to work. Like it'll do that, but it'll come apart really easily too. But you can peg them like that. But like I guess it doesn't really hold together. Or they both have a tab on the bottom of the barrel and a slot on their back. So you can actually peg them together like that instead, which works a lot better. There we go. And you can get this double blaster going. And you can give that the Scoop. So for him being a bit of a generic robot, he is heavily armed. I mean, 5 barrels of death just staring you down. He's gonna freak somebody up. He's gonna mess somebody up with that gun. It looks pretty good in his hand too, especially since it does go with his color scheme for the most part. For articulation, he does have a ball jointed head. He's got a ball joint at the shoulder and this hinge here, so you do get quite a bit of movement out of that. You have a swivel at the elbow, but it's a bit tight. Not quite as tight as Roadbusters, but still pretty tight. You got a single hinge that can do just shy of 90 degrees, probably like 88 degrees. You do got hand movement, but it's only for transformation, really. You do got a waist swivel, which just seems to be getting more and more rare lately. And it does go, you can have like a hinge here to make him look up using it. You do got a ball jointed leg, and it works pretty well. Goes forward and back. You got a swivel. And you got a knee hinge that does 90 degrees, and of course a transformation joint you can use as a double knee if you need to. And I guess you can count ankle articulation, but it's really only useful for a couple of poses. And then you can kind of, nope. Probably not actually that useful. So yeah, he's just, my only real problem is he's nothing spectacular. I mean, he's not a character that a lot of people know. His vehicle mode is okay. His robot mode is good. Just nothing that really stands out. Just kind of just a robot look to his robot mode, and his articulation is decent. The only real interesting thing is that he has both of his partners. That's the only real interesting thing to him. I kind of wonder if they make sure to give him that just to make him a more interesting figure. It's just strange for a Thrilling 30 line just to have this random guy who very few fans know of from what I've seen. But maybe that was the whole point. Maybe let's bring him back into a new light. Who knows? I think he's a fine figure. If you pick him up for cheap, I'd say he's probably worth it. Not the first generation's figure I would pick up, but he's a fun little toy, and it's probably actually not that bad for kids either. One of the few generations figures I think kids would actually enjoy too. Anyway, I'm very transformed. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope this helped you decide whether or not Scoop is meant for you, and I hope you have a nice day. Take care.